welcome, sir. You are welcome. Just in case, turn to your neighbor, hold him by the hand, shake it, tell him that you're welcome. Great to have you here, great to see you today. Make sure everyone is welcome.
Today at Jubilee Christian Centre, we had our event, which is an annual event, which has been going for a number of years, where we work, ACCI, which is the African Caribbean Community Initiative, and Jubilee Christian Centre work together, as I said earlier, to raise awareness in terms of the stigma and the discrimination that occurs in our own community, because there's the stigma and discrimination against people with mental health problems exists generally in society, but within our own communities, and particularly also within the black churches, where there's a lot of misconception and misunderstanding about why people experience a mental health problem. And so today, this event was hopefully an effort to try and reduce that situation, to bring some change about, because as we see within the churches, they have members of the congregation who are going through mental health issues, and if they don't have the understanding and the humanity and the awareness of how it manifests so that they can help those people, then that situation's only going to get worse. So with an event like today, hopefully people go away from it much more informed and less discriminatory in terms of their behaviour towards people with mental health problems.
So the event today was to celebrate World Mental Health Day and really just raise awareness within the Black and the faith community about mental health, which often has a stigma around mental health issues. People don't usually talk about it and they don't share it. So this event was an opportunity for people to open up about mental ill health and let people know that it's something that we should be talking about and needs to be an important matter that we discuss within our community.
Mental health and mental well-being awareness helps to stop the taboo, which tends to sometimes be in our community. And also it's about letting everybody know how mental health affects people, and particularly well-being. We ought to know how we can make ourselves not only physically but mentally better as well. And I do think that the event today absolutely highlighted it. And I wanted to speak because I thought it was important that as an MP to actually kind of like reach out to Alicia and say that I'm here as your MP to support what you do in your work, and also to see whether or not there's any more help that I can do as an MP from Parliament to enhance the already wonderful work that she's doing.
It was a joy to welcome our local MP, Eleanor Smith, for Wolverhampton South West, Councillor Sandra Samuels, our local councillor. These are people that we ought to pray for and celebrate in our communities, because they're actually at the cutting edge of decision making. And it has often been said that if you're not at the table where decisions are made, then decisions will be made on your behalf without your needs being taken into account. So it was a joy just to have them in our presence, just to touch base with the community, because when they go and they sit at their meetings, they can talk about the excellent work that is being done here by ACCI, and also working in collaboration with the church to bring about transformation in our communities and the improvement in the health and well-being of all of us, because all of us suffer at some point in our lives with emotional distress and anxiety, and that often is the starting point for mental ill health. So it's about raising the awareness, celebrating life, challenging the status quo, but also rallying the troop to get behind ACCI and to work collectively in the community for those people who have been affected by mental illness.
What took place today was a sharing of knowledge, of information, of allowing people to understand where faith fits into people's beliefs and how they can marry having a faith and being faithful in a way to themselves without ignoring the true nuances of mental health. The impact on the local communities would be that mental health is by and large explained to them. They get to have an understanding of what it means. They get to open up themselves. A lot of people are afraid to say they have mental health or have mental health in their family. It's not just a stigma for the person who has mental health. Those involved with that person also try to hide behind a veil of it's not happening to us. So it opens up dialogue, it opens up, as I keep saying, understanding and knowledge.
Today has been a very insightful day because we've been able to get across the message that the community has great assets, and the commissioning process really starts with ourselves. So it's getting our communities together, our assets together, our professionals, all working as one team. Because one of the challenges that we have in any community is inclusion. And the community utilising its assets, bringing in the church, and particularly the Pentecostal church, to give us that commissioning for love, compassion and humanity. And of course, because there's a stigma around mental health, inclusion can sometimes be a challenge. So the challenge to our own community is to be more inclusive ourselves. And we then will be able to influence the health system to be giving that love, compassion and humanity. And most importantly, by providing love, compassion with humanity, you will always get improved patient outcomes. And at the end of the day, NHS commissioners are focused on producing improved patient outcomes. And in fact, they're actually measured on that. So the community has a role itself to get involved. So it's a great day, and a really key part of that is the involvement of the church. So we're really pleased that the Jubilee Centre is part of this as well with ACCI, and we look forward to many more events like this in the future.